Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel where we discuss all things narcissism, and this video is some more red flags that you could potentially be dealing with a narcissistic person. So one red flag that you could be dealing with a narcissistic person is that closed-mindedness. Now, we are all capable of having a set belief in something and having a closed mind to it. However, usually because you have the ability to care about another person's thoughts and feelings, you can have the willingness to see it from another person's point of view. Even if you don't agree, you can have the ability to look at it from a different perspective, even if you do not agree. And even if you agree to disagree and stick to your own opinion. Narcissistic people are some of the most closed-minded people you could ever meet. Therefore, if your opinion, if your thoughts, if your feelings don't match their reality, you are in the wrong, and they're going to go all out to attack you to feel better about themselves. Even those who are closed-minded, that are non-narcissistic, they usually have the confidence within their own abilities that they don't feel a need to attack somebody who doesn't agree with them. Narcissistic people go all out to attack somebody who doesn't agree with them so that they can blame the other person in some way, so that they can accuse the other person to get people to look poorly on the other person who doesn't agree with their opinion, to discredit the other person, so that the narcissist gains the sympathetic attention from those around them. Impatience is another sign of a narcissistic person, because they feel entitled to have everything their own way. They feel deserving of that special treatment, so they can be some of the most impatient people you could ever meet. Now, we can all be impatient. We can all be in a rush. We can all have something going off in our lives. We can all have that moment where we've just had one situation after another that we get to a point where we just explode, and it happens. However, we take responsibility for our behaviour. Narcissistic people don't. Narcissistic people shame people for not serving them for quick enough, for not being there for them. They don't recognise that errors can be made. They don't give people any form of leeway. They just expect to be served as and when they want. They're very secretive. And people can be secretive. However, narcissistic people will leave out information that means you cannot make an informed choice, so that you make a choice that works in that narcissist's best interest. And then when you find out the truth, they just turn around and say, I didn't tell you the truth because I knew you'd react like this. I didn't tell you the truth because I knew you couldn't handle it. I was just trying to protect your feelings. They weren't. They were trying to protect themselves. So yes, as much as we can be secretive, and we can become secretive when it comes to protecting ourselves against a narcissistic person, and it can be challenging and it can feel like we're being manipulative, but we have learned that if we give them the information, they use it against us, to hurt us, to punish us. So we have to stop feeding them the information, not because we don't want to, because that's who they are as a person, and if they have that information, they are going to use it against us. They have to have everything their own way. When things aren't going their own way is when their envious face comes out to play, and they go all out to either play nice and suck you back in, or to force silence on you, to guilt trip you, to hurt you in some way, because they have to have everything their own way. Now, we can all reach a point where we just think, no, I need to do this. I've got to go out to work. I've got to go and pick the children up. I've got to go and do this because I've got to go and do it. And usually within you doing that, you're putting someone else before you anyway. You're earning the money to provide for the family. You're going to collect your children. But narcissistic people, because it's not going their way, get offended and accuse you of being selfish and awkward and stubborn. And as you don't want to be selfish and awkward and stubborn, as you do think of other people, you can think, oh, I'm being a little bit stubborn here, and change your mind to serve them so that they get everything their own way. They have little to no flexibility. They expect you to be flexible. They expect you to drop everything to serve them. However, they will drop nothing for you. They will be too busy to listen to you. However, you are not allowed to be too busy to listen to them. You should drop everything to listen to them, to help them, to support them. And if you don't come running at their time of need, they're going to fall silent on you. They're going to talk badly of you. They're going to be offended by you. Yet, if you're not in the idolization stage in your time of need, they're not going to be there for you. They're going to tell you that you just need to deal with it. They don't make mistakes. Now, they make plenty of mistakes. However, to the narcissist, they don't make any mistakes. Any mistakes they've made, that's your fault. That's your doing. We all make mistakes. It's whether we learn from them. As narcissistic people can't be bothered to recognise the mistakes they make and plaster the blame onto somebody else. They don't learn from their mistakes and they repeat those mistakes. And if you try to point them out, they might just turn around and say, I'm sorry, I forgot you were perfect, to shame you. Narcissistic people don't reflect. They don't look back on the situation in its entirety. They don't think, oh yeah, I didn't quite see it from that point of view. Oh yes, they don't reflect. Once they've made their minds up, they've made their mind up, and that is their truth, and that's how it went. Genuine people tend to go back and overanalyze each and every step of what they could have said differently, what they could have done differently. Was it them? Was it me? And they ruminate about things, whereas narcissistic people just think, it's your fault, it's your problem, it's not my problem, it's nothing to do with me. They are highly critical and judgmental of other people, which is quite ironic because they are also incredibly sensitive to constructive feedback. They take offense to this. You're not allowed to judge them. You're not allowed to criticize them, even if you're trying to do it to help them better themselves. However, if they recognise that somebody is trying to better themselves, they're going to be highly critical of that person and judgmental of that person to try and sabotage that person. They're incredibly negative. Now, in life, it's very easy to look for the negative. There's a lot of negative things that happen. And when you're around a narcissistic person, they're going to psychologically whiplash you into being a negative person with everything that they put you through. When it comes to a narcissistic person, any of your achievements, they're going to look for the negative in it. Anything that somebody else has done, they're going to look for the negative in it. Anywhere somebody is going on holiday, they're going to look to put it down and find the negative. Any new big purchase, a home or a car that somebody else has achieved, they're going to look to find the negative. They're going to tear it down to feel better about themselves because they just don't care. They do not care about other people. They do not care about other people's goals, dreams, hobbies. They only care about themselves. They only care about getting their own way. They only care about getting their needs met. You can watch something devastating on a TV program and they can't seem to relate, or worse still, when something's happening to somebody, they can almost stand there and they can turn around and then say, well, now they know how it feels. Well, they deserved that. Yes, we can have a moment when we see somebody's lives unraveling due to the lies that they've told, and we can feel a bit like, oh, justice. However, with a narcissistic person, it's something that happens to somebody that somebody does not deserve in any way, shape or form, and the narcissist feels smug because they lack the empathy to care about other people. They just care about getting their own needs met. Any red flags you noticed? Please add those into the comments for people reading through. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers and your continued support with the channel. It's greatly appreciated. If you are new to the channel, I'm for sure this channel is all about narcissistic behaviour, to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with within your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot go no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you understand and overcome narcissistic and emotional abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. If you are looking looking for further help and support in understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, I do have several online guides available, and those teachable links are in the video description. If you're looking for someone to speak to, I have partnered with BetterHelp, and their sponsored link is also in the video description. Go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.